Hi, I'm Diane Kimbrough, and Rabbi Lori asked me to share a couple of Passover recipes with you. So tonight, we're going to make Charoset. We first hear about this in the Mishnah, where it's required that we include this at the Seder table. It's a fruit and nut mixture that turns out to be kind of a reddish-brown color, and we have this to remind us of the bricks that the Jews made when they were enslaved in Egypt. So the Ashkenazic version includes apples, nuts, cinnamon, and wine. And I'm going to do it like my mom did, which is the Yiddish technique of shitaran, which means a little of this and a little of that. We're going to start with an apple, which I have cut into 4 pieces and cored. You can peel it if you want to. I choose to leave the peel on. And I also use a food processor or a food chopper to do mine, but if you prefer to chop by hand, you are more than welcome to do that. I'm going to cut these in a little bit smaller pieces just to fit nicely into the food chopper. And this one will comfortably do about a half an apple at a time. So we will chop this on pulse. We want to leave it pretty chunky. So comes out and it looks about like that. And then we'll do the second half. Okay, that's ready to go. And again, we will pulse. One more. Looks good. Okay, so I'm going to take that and put it into a bowl. And then I also have some pecan pieces, but these are not chopped up quite enough, so we're going to throw those in the food chopper as well. And I'm going to add to that one apple about a half cup of the pecans, like this. And this is going to go in the chopper, and we'll just pulse it for a moment. There we go. Up. That did it. And that we are going to add to the apples. Very nice. Then I'm going to stir that a bit to combine it. So if you're writing it down, it's 1 whole apple cored and cut in quarters, and then in the food chopper, and a half cup of pecans. If you prefer a different kind of nut, that's totally fine. You could use almonds, or walnuts would have a really darker, richer flavor. Now, I'm also going to add some cinnamon, and I'm going to start out with about a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then the wine, and I'm going to start out with a half cup of wine. We'll see, you want this to be pretty juicy, but it will release more juice as it macerates for a while. So you want to make this maybe a day ahead before your Seder so that it has a time for all the flavors to marry and for the juices from the apples to release and the wine to be absorbed. So we'll see how that stirs in. It's looking good. I think these proportions are going to be quite nice. When you are researching on Charoset, you'll find some Sephardic versions that include fruits that are more native to the Middle East and the Mediterranean area. You might find bananas, dates, dried apricots, and along with the wine, often they use honey with them. I've even seen a recipe that includes bananas. Okay, this is looking good. So you can kind of see there is some juice, and we want that. We want to actually, when you're storing it, pack the fruit down in so that the juice comes up as high as possible on that, and as much of it gets covered as it can. Of course, one more thing we have to do before we're done, and that is taste it, just to see if it needs anything else. Let's see where we are. Oh, that's so good. Okay, there you have it. There's your Passover Charoset. I hope you enjoy, and feel free to experiment with some other fruits in it. Happy Passover!